What up, Night Nation? It's your boy, Stevie Knight, about to get on one of these things. You feel me? What's good with the watch? Nice watch, man. Before we tap in, make sure you visit shop, stevieknight.com. Anytime you see me rocking some drip that you rocking with, pull up over there. I got you. Diving further into this Russ interview up on the Flagrant, man. Dropping some gems. I got some more links and some snippets to view that came from you. So let's get it. This one says, Russ exposes how the music industry fakes streams. Should be interesting. Let's peep.
How these labels fucking artists with the streams.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're doing it, but it feels like they're doing it.
Yeah.
And how are they
definitely
tricking us? Because I see these people that go crazy, album goes #1, but then they can't fill up a show.
Right.
So the math is not math.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
But explain it.
I mean, so it's one of those things that like everyone in the industry knows is going on.
Which is?
Faking the streams. It's a real thing.
So the label buys the streams from Spotify?
So here's the deal. When you talk to these people, because I've talked to these people, because I've been like, what is this? How are y'all doing this? They never disclose the mechanics of like how they actually fake the streams. There's like, rumors of like streaming farms, or we're delving out fucking computers in third world countries and hacking the back end to make it look like it's an IP from the US. Yeah. Whatever, like all this nutty shit. But the reality is the labels are...
I forgot who the hell I was having a conversation with. It was some rapper. I don't know if some of y'all, a lot of y'all may be unaware, but they literally will have warehouses full of phones that will stream music from these phones to run these streams up. And somebody's paying these fools to do it. And it's warehouses full of thousands of phones, from computers as well, the different IP addresses that are listening to these songs, running these numbers up, getting these fake ass streams for these big ass artists. You know what I mean? So it's like, the indie artists can't compete with it at all.
Spending money and, devil's advocate, they're treating it like a marketing expense. Because in a sense, it like almost is.
You're gonna spend $100,000 on billboards, you're gonna spend $100,000 on streams.
Right.
Streams is gonna put you into playlists.
You're gonna spend real money to get fake streams that equate to real money. So that's why they think it makes sense, because it's like, okay, the streams are fake, but the money's real. So what do we care? Especially, they're not doing it with like up and coming artists who like you wouldn't believe it. They're doing it with people like where it's okay. Let's say your song has 500 million streams, right? Organically, but let's say with fake streams now you're at 900 million. No one's gonna sit there and be like, this is more like a 500 million stream song.
Yeah.
They're just gonna be like, this is a big song, makes sense, it has 900 million.
That's honestly so smart.
Yeah, they're not doing it to the dude across the street and giving him 1 billion streams. They're doing it to people who really can get 500 million. But let's just pump it to get 900.
Now you're getting #1.
Now you get
so
#1.
you can pay for a #1.
Oh yeah. What?
What does the #1 cost? I mean, that's crazy to even think about that.
I mean,
what does a #1 song in America cost?
Look, the reality is this. You do have to have a real fan base to a certain extent. Right? You have to have people who are really consuming the music. And your song has to actually be moving around organically. Once it's that, then they'll push the button on it. And it just depends, like it's a campaign. It could be like, it's like a 12-week campaign and it might be 60 grand, 70 grand, whatever it is.
That's it.
And it's, oh yeah.
To have the #1 song.
And that 70 grand, the ROI is crazy because that 70 grand might bring you back 200, 300.
Yeah, and even just seeing the song #1, you're more likely to check it out. Now, how so?
Right, because people are sheep. And it's just.
Yeah, if you see something successful.
Labels are like, all CEOs at labels are obsessed with market share. Like, who has the market share? Sony has 25%.
Market share means the amount of streamed
like whose
songs at that moment.
Right.
And who total streams, how many percent yours?
Yeah, right. And there's like bonuses that are associated with who's in
because that's their incentive structure.
Right.
If you're #1, you're going to get the trickle down, so they're going to try to boost.
Right.
Now, maybe you can't quantify it, but you said you can't do it with any song. You could take it from #10 to #1, or you got to be like 3, and then I mean,
look, Spotify even just put out this statement that said, anything over what was it, 80% and 90%.
Yeah.
Anything over 90,
They're gonna call out. So you could be 89% fake streams.
But that's
We're
what
not gonna
that's
say
saying.
shit. But over,
It's like that was Spotify's way of saying we know what's going on. We're okay with
we're
it.
profiting off it.
It just can't, of course, because somebody doing 1 billion streams on your platform is a good look for your platform.
Yes.
Because you're bragging about the amount of streams on your platform.
Think about where Apple Music loses to Spotify. One, they don't show the streams. Two, when it came out like last year that there was only one song that has 1 billion streams on there, like it just doesn't look as sexy as Spotify.
And I feel like as a consumer, nobody's listening to Apple Music. Spotify must be better.
Yep.
I don't know shit. I'm just gonna go with the bigger one.
So the fake streams help the artist and the platform.
And
They
the label.
also-
So like everyone wins. That's why no
And
one's
the
gonna say
investor.
anything.
Think about it. If you're invested in Spotify, if your money is in Spotify shares, you want to know that it's getting the most streams and it's beating Apple by X
And the
amount.
labels are invested. I remember when I was.
That's the craziest shit.
I remember when I was with Columbia, and Columbia, there was a point in time where like they sold their shares of Spotify, whatever the fuck. But everyone on the label, just depending on how many streams you were doing, you got a check. I got a crazy check from Columbia selling their shares of Spotify. Yeah.
So,
Why did you get the crazy check?
Because I was doing a lot of streams on Spotify.
You get your share of the stream money.
Right. Right.
So this is crazy. Billy Corgan was on Rogan talking about this. Did you see that episode?
No.
Where he was the streaming art, which means brand bitches
for leverage to go get, but it's like the artist uses all,
which is crazy.
Yeah.
but it's like the artist uses all of that for leverage to go get sponsorships, and it's all like fame driven.
Yeah.
It's all like the streams might be fake, but me being perceived as a massive artist
Make money on the
is
road.
real.
Monetize.
So now I'm getting this, now I'm getting that, and I'm monetizing it with this brand or with this sponsorship, whatever it is. So it's like it's all just a fucking finesse, and it's all a scam.
And there's some artists that are like, I'm just gonna live off of my deal. Right?
Yeah.
They're like, I don't even care if I make enough money to pay back
Right.
the company or the label, whatever
Right.
it is. They're gonna give me my advance. That's what I make.
Yeah.
Right? And
And it's so funny when artists are like, I haven't seen a check since I got signed. It's like, because you're not recouped.
you didn't make any money.
It's like, what are you so confused about?
Yeah.
It's like, you didn't make the money back.
Is it possible the artists don't know?
Oh, yeah. I don't think any of the artists know that their streams are being faked.
Wow.
No, but and here's the thing.
That's
right?
heartbreaking.
nah.
But here's the thing. That's why, first of all, I encourage every artist, audit your label. Make sure there's an audit clause. Like I'm auditing, who I was with. And there's a lot of money being found. Yeah. Yeah, because the reality is like you don't know. There's a lot of things that are just hidden in those statements in the marketing expenses. And the reason why, if you're signed to a major label, right? It's so easy to just deny everything because there's a buffer. There's a label. The label's the middleman between the fake streams and you. So if it comes out that so-and-so is faking their streams, you can just play dumb. Be like, I had no idea.
The label must have did it.
Yeah, I didn't know what the label was spending their money on.
Right.
And when I have a hit song that has 1 billion streams, I'm not gonna go, are we sure it's a
Look,
billion?
and this is not me speculating, right? This is me talking to top 5 most streamed artists in the world and them talking to CEOs and CEOs admitting.
Oof.
And me on the phone with managers of massive artists and on the phone with the dude who fakes the streams and them saying what's going on.
Shouldn't surprise anybody though. You know what I mean? You gotta be naive to think that that's not a possibility that artists out here faking these streams, man. It's fake it till you make it, right? In this case, it makes sense to fucking fake streams to garner more income, garner more bread, garner more attention, right? But first thing that comes to mind for me is the artificial success that a lot of these artists have today. You know what I mean? When we're comparing these records that they're breaking and the amount of streams that they're getting and the amount of the duration that they remain number one or the amount of number one singles they have, when everything is literally ran through streams now because no one buys records anymore. I mean, people download shit, but the majority of consumers stream music, bruh. So it's like the biggest artists in the world, your Taylor Swifts, your Bad Bunnies, your Drakes, your Cardis, your Megs, all that, bruh. All these fools are, and they probably are, purchasing a lot of fake streams. I'm saying, how successful are they really? Or not, I ain't gonna say successful, they're successful regardless, but yeah, how successful are they really compared to their previous counterparts? Because it makes me think of, like, you know, Drake, for example, all these #1 billboards he has, the success he's had for the time he's been popping. I mean, how much of that shit is artificial? How much of that shit is real? You know what I'm saying? How much of that shit is inflated? I already know it's inflated because of streams, right? But the fact that this is literally pumped up from fake fucking numbers, making this motherfucker seem that he's much more demanded than he is, or she is, for that matter. And we try to compare these fools to the motherfuckers in the past where that wasn't an option. There wasn't no faking nothing back then. Like, you literally had to have butts in the seats. You literally had to have people in the stores, people waiting in line to buy these fucking albums. That's why, like, a Michael Jackson record should seem so impressive as it is. He still got the #1 most selling album of all time without the fucking streams. So, you know, how successful is your favorite rapper? Or how successful is the most poppin' rapper? How successful is the most poppin' singer? How successful is the most poppin' whatever the fuck, when you got these record labels pumping the numbers up to get attention from the fucking audience to continue pumping the numbers up? It's a fucking game. You know what I'm saying? And taking it a few layers out, like, the same phenomenon exists everywhere in the world as far as an entertainment is concerned, or social media is concerned. You got people buying fake followers, people buying fake subscribers, people literally faking the funk to make themselves seem that they're much more than what they are. Literally the Matrix, bro. Literally, these fucking labels literally press the button on who the fuck they want popping. They put these motherfuckers in front of everybody's face and literally make idols and gods overnight.
You think people are fake?
Yeah.
And, like, once you know, it's really easy to tell which songs are being fake.
Who's the most fake?
Yeah.
No, I can't say that.
Come
Bad
on.
Bunny,
Listen, I'm not
Drake.
gonna. We were talking on Brilliant Idiots, and Charlamagne said it was a Drake song that came out. It was a Drake and SZA song.
SZA, yeah.
And he was like, it went #1 one week,
Yeah.
and the next week it just fell off.
Right.
And he was like, listen, those are the types of things where you go, are these songs being pumped up by the label? Because
Right.
I always thought that too when that Slime Me Out song came out. Like, that song was not that fucking good to be #1. I wasn't thinking about no fake streams, but it makes sense. Like, I mean, because SZA and Drake are on it. SZA is the most popping R&B female singer there is right now, and Drake is Drake. So that too is just an equation for a successful record. But the record they put together wasn't like some crazy shit to be #1. And the fact that it fell off so quick speaks volumes, right?
I think Doja Cat's song "Paint the Town Red" had been in that top 5 for weeks.
Right.
That you're not going to keep faking streams.
Yes,
for,
you are.
For really?
I'm not saying that she was doing that.
But you would fake
but I'm
streams
just
for
saying,
months?
I'm just saying, like, this is the thing.
Think of the perception you
You're
just had of
getting
Doja
real,
Cat.
like, it has
And
to
how
be a
big she must
song.
be.
But
that-
there's going to be diminishing returns if you keep having to spend $100 grand every month. No.
Well, it's not $100 every month. Because it's really just spending enough money
pump it.
to hack the algorithm.
So 6ix9ine was right. Is that what you're trying to say?
What was he saying? Depends on what he said. Right about what?
Nah, he said something about they took his #1 by buying streams for some artists.
Yeah, I mean, like, the reality is they're not
Bundles
going
or
to
something?
do it, and it doesn't make sense to do it with something that's not already a moving train.
Got it.
When it's already a moving train, the public won't know
even
the difference.
wonder, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a song that genuinely has 500 million streams, if we juice it and now it has 900 million, like I said, you're not going to sit there and be like, nah, I don't believe it has 900 million, because it's massive, organically.
Yeah.
So Donda and, what was it, Certified Lover Boy, when we were all really fixated on who was going to be #1.
Yeah.
Whoever was #1, theoretically, they could have just paid and be
For
like,
sure. But it's like, the labels are, it's a business. They're
Yeah.
looking at it like, we're protecting our investment,
Of course.
one.
Yeah.
And we're trying to obtain as much of the market share as possible.
Yep.
And they also know, this is just like a psychology thing. It's like, fake commotion ends up creating real commotion. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
if I'm just over here making a spectacle and it's a fake spectacle, the fake spectacle attracts real eyes, and now the real eyes are over here like, what is that spectacle? And now I have real people tuned in off of fake commotion.
And so here's a question, because we all see academics that post about who sells what in the first week or whatever. I think it was French Montana had like a really bad first week.
Right.
Is that French Montana standing on his own honor and being like, I refuse to play into this, buy any streams? Or do you think the label might be like, I'm assuming it's with a label, would be like, we're kind of done with you, and this is, you're going to have an embarrassingly low number because it's the real number, whereas everybody else getting inflated. But your shit is going to sit low.
I don't know what his situation. Well, I know like French is my guy, and I actually like helped him get the deal that he has.
I think French is great. That's why
I think he's.
like,
but it's like, either sometimes maybe it's not just so transparent where they're like, hey, do you want to fake your streams or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's like, it's not a moving train, so we're not gonna push the button on it.
Yeah, AKA he's not popping no more. Moving train means you're popping somewhere. There's some juice to squeeze from this fruit, so we're going to invest in it. Like, it's not French's time anymore. His time has passed, so they're not going to invest further to capitalize off something that's not there. You know what I mean? It makes perfect sense. And at the end of the day, I'm not really fucking mad at it. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's business, it's capitalism. They're going to find the best ways to juice this hip hop fruit or music fruit the best way possible. Like I said previously, it just makes me think of, who's really breaking barriers and shit in this music thing at this point now when so much is artificial. You really gotta just take this shit with a grain of salt.
Because it's not a moving train yet.
Yeah, if the album came out with some heat, then they could put
it like this,
sauce
right?
on it.
Put it like this, full transparency. Now, I also know, and I've said this in interviews before, like this is the thing I'm like worried about, is like me pointing the finger and calling shit out. All that's gonna happen is people are like, no. You're faking your stream. You know what I'm saying?
You know so much.
Right, like, how do you know? And you were on the phone, and you know what? Who even listens to Russ? You're faking your stream. But
but you got people coming out to shows. I think that's the difference maker right there.
Real bodies.
That
but
clip of
I
you
will
in
say
India
this
was
for full
crazy.
transparency. This is the truth. 315 is a song I have that I put out, I don't know, 3 years ago. And right now it's doing, 500,000 streams a day on Spotify. There was a time where it was doing 800 and 900,000, right? And the threshold to go into today's top hits is like they want to see you getting like 1.1, right? And that's like, once you're in today's top hits, over with, right? So we got on the phone, because I was like, Milan, I hit my manager, I was like, Milan, see what this guy, like, because I've like, low-key, I'm like planning like a fucking Vice documentary where I'm like exposing all this shit. I'm like, Milan, hit this guy, like, what is the like process of this shit? But it's like, so he talks to him and he's like, look, you
got to fake his
this
voice.
is the perfect song to do it because it's crushing organically.
Nobody's gonna know the difference between 200,000 streams.
315 organically was before TikTok and Billboard did the thing where there was a Billboard chart for TikTok songs. 315 was the #1 song on TikTok in the world. You know what I mean? Organically. So once again, if I was to boost that, what is anyone gonna say? No, I hear it everywhere on TikTok, so it kind of checks out, makes sense. And we talked to the dude, or Milan talked to him, and told us, it's like an 8 to 12 week campaign. You spend 35, 40 grand and like, that's it. Then it's out of here. And now guess what? Now it goes from 800,000 organic streams a day to now maybe it is doing that 1.2 million threshold. And now Spotify puts it in today's top hits.
And now it's at
boom,
2 million.
Boom, boom, boom. You see what I'm saying? And now radio's like, wait, this is a smash.
It's a multiplier.
And so all of a sudden,
It's
that
a marketing
extra 400,000 streams that are fake get a whole bunch of real ears but I just could not live with myself if I did it because the reason why, like, and I'm gonna be honest, it's so tempting.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I've even tweeted about it before where it's like, wait a second. If everyone's on steroids, am I an idiot?
Yeah. It's the baseball shit.
Am I an idiot?
Yeah.
Right? Like, am I being naive and almost childish where it's like, I'm sitting here still trying to like play the game the right way and everyone else is like, dog, what are you doing? Like, we're all doing this, right? Yeah. And so I start, I oscillate with like yes and no every day, but I just have faith and I know that house is gonna come crumbling down and I don't wanna be in it when it does. Because guess what it'll do? It won't just be, oh, Russ, you faked the streams on 315. It'll send the whole catalog into question.
Yep.
Right.
Especially because
that would fucking ruin me.
And especially because you're independent.
Right.
If you're not independent, if you're already part of the label system,
right.
Even if you put it all into question, they wouldn't be incentivized to tear them down. But to you, there are people I'm sure that are part of the industry that have heard all the shit that you said and then seen your success without them, and they're like,
they're waiting for me to fake the second 100%. If I did it, it would be Russ is faking the streams.
And let this be a lesson to all other independent artists.
Right, because guess what that narrative is? Now the narrative would be, see, you can't get real success
without
independent unless you fake your stream. You got to be with a major. So like, I just feel I owe it not just to myself, but to the whole like independent community to do it the real way.
That sound good. Like you want to do it the real way, but realistically, only reason you're not doing it because you don't want to get found out that you did do it. That would make you look bad. Right, you gotta keep it. I hear what you're saying, dog. You feel me? But you just don't want to get caught. Like if there wasn't a way for you to get caught, you would have done it. And I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at you if you did do it. It's like the music industry is a fucking beast, bro. Literally competing against the machine. I guess the biggest incentive of signing with a damn label, if you have the leverage to do so to get a good deal, is the global reach you'll have. You know what I'm saying? Because they're able to put your shit everywhere. Top 10 playlist songs on Spotify and radio and whatever. Like the record labels are in cahoots and they control that whole umbrella, right? So you just you miss out on the reach. So as successful as Russ is, he'll never get the reach of a fucking Doja Cat because they're in sleep with the machine. And they get the benefits of sleeping with the machine, and they can claim ignorance of what these record labels are doing to push their numbers. But I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, nobody gives a fuck. Like, it's cool to talk about, and people are gonna do what they gonna goddamn do. You gotta just fucking figure it out, bro. But I just want to drive the fucking point, trying to compare these artists' success today to the success of artists back then, where they was really putting in work and everything they was getting was raw. I mean, there may have been a little bullshit going on, but there wasn't much room to do it because you had to have butts in the seats. You had to have people in line. You had to have people at the cash register buying this shit. Wasn't no downloading, nothing. As soon as you get the internet involved, the floodgates are open as far as the damn fraudulent ways to make artists seem that they're more successful than they are. You feel me? So, is your favorite rapper, is your favorite singer as good as you think that they are?